Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am starting this week with headphones on just to make sure that the audio is working. So let's just see here. Good to be back in the studio with all of you. Welcome. So exciting. Okay, I'm just going to jump into the chat here and see, and if everyone could give me an update as to how the audio is sounding. Let's see. All right. Welcome, everybody. Okay, it's working perhaps. Oh my goodness. I spent a little extra time this evening troubleshooting the audio, and okay, great. It looks like we are working. And anyway, so I spent maybe 20-30 minutes extra just just trying to make sure it doesn't have an echo, that you can hear me, and that it is synced up. In fact, let me know in the chat if my lips are synced up with the audio. Why that was not working last week is beyond me, so that would be amazing. Okay, good. It looks like it's working well. Awesome. Yes, indeed. A lot of butter my bread in the chat. You better believe it. Butter my bread indeed. Robert, and welcome everyone. It is 7 p.m. We're starting on time. That means we're getting a little better, right? Just a little better at doing this. So it's good to see everybody. And let's see, as usual, let me know where you're from and where you're watching, and maybe you're traveling around the world and you're not in your hometown. And if that's the case, let us know in the chat. That'd be amazing. Good to see everyone streaming in here. Oh, so synced. That is awesome, Kenneth. Welcome, Kenneth. Thank you. Oh, Chad's here. Robert, Angie, Scott, Tropical Runner. Shout out to everybody. Oh my goodness, it's good to see everyone. And let me just get mine going here actually, just to see what it looks like live. Okay, looks like it's working. So actually, let me just adjust this light a little bit here. 1 second. You know me. I love good lighting. So I'm just gonna adjust this real quick here. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. There we go. So, let's see. We've got Indiana in the house, Brazil, Flat, Florida, Thailand, Montreal, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, South Carolina, Lafayette, Indiana. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Kansas City, Missouri, Orange County, California, upstate New York, near Canada. Whew! That's chilly up there. Lola Run, that is chilly up there. Oh my goodness. Los Angeles, California. Awesome. Good to see everyone streaming in. Jimmy from Louisville just ran a 4:44 mile. That's what I'm talking. That must have been an indoor mile because we're not in the outdoor track season yet. So that's fast for indoors. Good work, Jimmy. It's fast for outdoors too, but that's good to see. Minnesota, Sacramento, California, the UK, Ohio, Portland, Maine. Whew, man. Cold up there as well. Singapore. Oh man, the other side of the world. What time is it in Singapore right now? If you don't mind letting us know, Ahmad, that'd be awesome. And oh, Jason's in the house. What's up, Jason? Austin, Texas. Yes. Oh man, I must say, blue collar runner, I am ready for summer. I just love summer. It's just so much more enjoyable for running. So, good to see everyone. And Bernard 6, currently in Tokyo. Are you racing, Bernard? Did you know the Tokyo Marathon is, you must know, the Tokyo Marathon is, I believe, on Sunday. You must be racing. That's awesome. If you could say go Eagles, that would make my day. Go Eagles. Is that your hometown mascot? That's awesome. Jojo. All right. So, good to see everyone. And as I always like to ask, how was your run today? I actually doubled up. I did 2 runs today. Both 6 miles, and I just squeezed in the last one before coming into the studio this afternoon, so maybe you saw it on Strava. Doubling up, you know, the mileage is getting higher, so as many of you know, the marathon is in 12 weeks, and so I'm doing a double peak, so this is the biggest week of volume for me before I dip back down, and then I'm going to dip back down, make sure I'm not holding that high volume for too long, and then I'm going to rise back up again. So I'm going for about 85 miles this week. So whenever I go over 80 miles, I usually start doubling. All right. So yeah, how was your run today? What did you guys do? Oh, that's sorry to hear that, Robert. Your knees are busted. I biked with them and iced. Andy's in the house from South Australia. Awesome, Andy. Welcome. Andy, you're the man. Oh, man. Andy has his own YouTube channel. Good to see you here, Andy. That's awesome. Just came home from a 20-mile trail run. That's from Run Vertical Productions. Holy smokes, 20-mile trail run. That's awesome. Good work. That's my type of run. That's my type of run. Let's see here. All right, so Maricopa, Arizona's in the house. Awesome. Great to see everyone. Okay, let me just pull up a few. As your thoughts are coming in on your run today, I'm going to update you on a few things. And of course, as always, spread this link around. If you have a running club or a high school cross-country team, maybe they're just hanging out and they're not doing their homework and they want to tune into the live stream and ask questions, feel free to share this link out anywhere. You know, the more the merrier in my book. So spread it around. I would appreciate it. Tweet it out. Send it to Facebook. That'd be amazing. Okay, Liam ran 8 miles. Carl ran an hour in the Beacons. There you go, Carl. I took out. Wait, where is it? Here we go. Liam, in my second run, I took out the, Carl, in the second run, I took out the Beacons. Love the Beacons. Kieran, 5 miles steezy run. Let's see. Jesse, 4 miles for me today. Good work, Jesse. Scott, 6 miles with 8 by 2 minutes hard in the middle. Super cold, but good speed work. That's awesome, Scott. Blue collar runner, just ran a half marathon trail race Saturday. Muddy. Burnt up the legs. Oh, man. Tell you what, mud is rough. Actually, blue collar runner, what shoes did you race in? Let us know in the chat. I'd be curious because I think I have a guess. Maybe the new Solomons, right? But let us know in the chat. That'd be awesome. Okay, so in addition, tonight I want to talk about running culture, nutrition, and then, of course, always an open Q&A. And we have some questions from last week in this New Balance box. I'll be pulling from that as well. I'm excited to talk about running culture, and I really want to hear your thoughts as well in the chat as far as your outlook and perception on running culture in the United States, but also outside the United States. And I have a huge list of topics we can hit on with that. So we will bring that up in a minute. And of course, there's always the super chat if you want to ask any questions and get it highlighted. So let me just pull up here real quick, make sure I don't miss any super chats. There we go. Okay, good to see everyone. All right, here we are. So, all right, we're looking good. We're looking good here. Let me just pull this back up. And if you are not a part of the DeMoor Global Running Group on Strava, listen, it's getting exciting. In fact, we're almost to 1,000 runners there. If you don't use Strava, that's okay. Now, I'm not saying, like, I think keeping running simplistic and simple is a beautiful thing. But at the same time, I do enjoy connecting with all of you and learning about your training and where you like to run and like the different terrains you're running on and looking at your photos from literally around the world. So anyway, the DeMoor Global Running is doing very well, and don't be if you are part of the group, don't forget to go give people kudos, because I don't know, like, supporting each other and encouraging each other is one of the best parts of Strava, in my humble opinion. So Patrick is in the house from Alamo, Justin from Charlotte. Justin, oh man, actually I'm going to give an update about some things, Justin, in a second. And let's see here. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any chats. Chad had an off day today. 6-ish miles tomorrow. Awesome. So, in addition, a couple more updates. I have been reduced to a webcam. That's right. I bought, if you watched today's vlog, you already know this, but I bought a webcam. So if you are in high school, listen up. My brother, Joseph, who many of you have already seen on the vlog, he's fast. He's very fast. And he was very, very successful in high school. He qualified for Foot Locker. So I want to interview him live for all of you to ask questions live, but as you know, the Canon camera has not been working, so I bought a webcam. The quality will not be as high, but I think we figured it out yesterday. We did a test, so the plan, mark your calendars, this Sunday, what day is that? Oh boy, help me out. I think it's March 3rd. This Sunday, I'm going to interview my brother live at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's a little later, but it works better for his schedule. So 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, all right? I hope it's going to work. We tested it yesterday, and it was working. So 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, I plan to interview my brother about his high school training, about how he qualified for Foot Locker, the whole recruiting experience, getting recruited into college, to run in college. So if you're a high school runner, I think you'll really enjoy hearing his thoughts. And if you're not a high school runner, that's okay too. Like, you'll learn a lot from him because he's done a lot of other very impressive endurance activities. I'll just put it in that category since high school. So, all right, let me just dive here in the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Cape Girardeau, Missouri, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let me just make sure. Okay, we're doing good here. So, one other update is that the t-shirts are actually, a test print has happened, and tomorrow, I believe, is the 28th of February. So, tomorrow, t-shirt should be arriving to my P.O. box, and I'm going to go see if I like the look, the feel, and I think you're really going to enjoy the updated design. And but I want to get my hands on an actual t-shirt just to see how the material feels before we start pumping them out to all of you guys. So stay tuned on the t-shirts, but hopefully tomorrow a t-shirt will arrive at the P.O. box, and of course I will keep you updated on all of that. So, all right, Daniel is in the house from Greeley, Colorado. Kurt is here from Layton, Utah. Today was 7 by 8 minutes on, 3 minutes recovery. Oh man, any recommendations for books about running from Morgan? I'll just answer that right now because I feel like it. Running with the Buffaloes, of course. It's my go-to answer because that book helped inspired me to train and train alone and walk on to the University of Colorado cross-country team. So it's called Running with the Buffaloes. It's a very easy read. It's awesome. It's like very enjoyable, very easy. You could read it in a couple days easily. So, good question from Morgan. Let's see. And Robert, you make a good point about the leaderboard on Strava is broken for you. Guess what? It's not working for me either right now. So who knows? I think the Strava is still working out some bugs when it comes to the clubs. And anyway, it's last week. Can anybody guess in the chat? I think I already told everyone on Facebook. Guess in the chat how many miles we ran together in the DeMoor Global Running Club. Guess how many, guess in the chat. I won't tell you yet. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, I'm going to take a quick drink here. Oh, man. Joel is in the house from Maine. Swapnil from Singapore. Amazing. Jesse asks, how much do you expect the t-shirts to cost? Jesse, it's a great question. After doing more research, it appears that most t-shirts are sold around $20, which in my mind, I think that's actually what you would usually pay at a race. I would love to see a t-shirt for sale for like 12 to 15, but I just don't know if that's practical in today's market with how much printing costs have gone up. with the explosion of different t-shirt printing opportunities. And Jesse, just so you know, the goal is also to print like long sleeve t-shirts or long sleeves, and then even possibly like hoodies, and maybe someday like hats. I don't know. We'll see. So Jesse, good question. Thank you for that. All right, a lot of good guesses coming in, and guess what? We are almost at 100 people watching already. That's amazing. Okay. 23,000 miles together we ran last week. The group together ran 23,000 miles. That is amazing. So kudos to everybody. Butter my bread. You better believe it. That is impressive. So, okay. Let's dive into running culture. Running culture. What a topic. Oh my goodness. Actually, let me pull up my notes here. And I know you, just so you know, as far as the chat goes, again, there's super chat available if you want to get a comment highlighted. And I don't think I've seen any yet, which is fine. But I'm not going to monitor. But you can tag each other in the chat and actually have a conversation with everybody else here, because I can only read so many of the comments. And also, always put a question mark at the end of a question, because it's way too hard to sort through the chat if you have a specific question if it doesn't have a question mark. So just putting that out there. I wanted to remember to mention that. Okay, so here we go. Running culture. I have a list here. Let's do this. Oh yeah, and by the way, we will be opening, can you guys even see this here? Yeah, you can see this. We're going to be opening a pair of shoes here toward the end of the live stream, so stay for that. Basically, I'm pretty excited about this, so stay tuned for that. We got a box back there that arrived very recently. All right, I'm gonna read off now, and you guys have to just listen to me for a second, and then we'll dive into a chatter here. Running culture. I think that running culture in the United States is getting better. I think it's getting stronger. I think it was really strong. And okay, I'm in the United States, so I can't speak to other countries, and I'll mention a couple others here in a minute. But you know, when running really exploded on the scene in the United States in the 70s, I would say those people were really blazing a trail for all of us to follow. And it's really inspiring to go back and watch some old documentaries on the New York City Marathon, the Boston Marathon, eventually later the Chicago Marathon, and just to see how these people literally, like, people thought they were crazy. Absolutely insane. First of all, they're running shorts. Like, I like short shorts. You'll see it this summer. Like, I prefer short shorts when I'm out running. It was just like how I was like running in college. Like, everyone just wore short shorts. It's just how you did it. Well, if you think my shorts are short, go back and watch documentaries from the runners in the 70s. We're talking really short. A little too short if you ask me. But these guys were blazing a trail for us to follow in the 2000s and now almost 2020, and it was so new, and that was what was beautiful about it. Like, I know there had been running earlier before the 70s, and it was around in the 60s, but I just really look to the 70s as this moment when kind of a watershed moment for running in the United States. But of course, we have a lot of viewers on this channel who are from the UK, and I am beginning to realize the immensity or the magnitude of running culture in the UK. It's amazing, and I don't know exactly if it's like, maybe it's a little bit connected to Roger Bannister and the breaking the 4-minute mile. I don't quite know why, like the park runs is just blowing my mind. The UK has these park runs every Saturday across the entire country where you can go run a 5K for free and try and set a PR. Like, that's amazing. That's like bringing people together and forming a running culture. And then you look at True Love is in the House. Oh, that's awesome. And then you look at Japan, and Japan is, I've heard Japan might have the strongest running culture in the entire world. Now, obviously, you have Ethiopia and Kenya, but they are more like elite runners. You know what I mean? Like, they're just crushing it at the elite level. It's not quite, I don't see it as much as a, let's, like, everyone in the towns or the villages or the cities is running. It's more like, let's go be an elite runner and see if we can go win races abroad and make some good money. But anyway, yes, Carl, park runs are brilliant. So, running culture, I think it's growing in the United States. Personally, I think, so you have, obviously you have the marathon world, you have track and field, you have high school cross country, which is very strong, you know, because of Foot Locker and Nike Cross Nationals. But then you also have ultra running, which maybe some of you are not familiar with. But I tell you what, oh, I just want to mention this, like, ultra running is now a viable option for people to become professional runners. Just so you know, there are professional ultra runners. And what is an ultra runner? In case you don't know, it's anyone that's racing 50Ks, 50 milers, 100 milers. And I'm telling you, the culture of ultra running is really strong right now, if you're not familiar with that. Now, I'm beginning to dabble a little bit more in marathon culture in 2019, since I'm getting ready for my first marathon in May. And I also just want to mention one other thing, and I want to jump into the chat here, and I want to hear your thoughts, so get them ready as far as how you feel like running culture is right now in the United States, and do you feel like welcomed into the running world? So, running shops. I think listen, I think this box is from, no, this one is not from Running Warehouse. But listen, I order stuff from Running Warehouse. I'm sure you do as well. However, I really think that local running shoe stores and shops need to be supported, because that is where we can go as runners, hang out, ask questions, and guess what? There is a running shoe shop in North Denver. Unfortunately, I don't go there very much because it's on the other side of town, but it's called Berkeley Park Running Company. They have a table in there to eat. You can bring your lunch and you can go eat in there. They always have a looping video of old marathon videos playing. I think they even have a beer tap for their they have weekly runs where people go run, and then they share a beer together afterward. And it's an amazing it's in a little teeny tiny house, but it's like they are trying to build running culture in Denver. So I just want to put that out there to you, and propose to you that, listen, I think we need to, yes, over 100 watching, that's right, Eddie. I think we need to continue to build running culture, and frankly, it's happening right here on this channel. Okay, let me know your thoughts about it. I'm going to dive into the chat here. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything. Let's just see here. Liam said, pre-started the distance running craze in America in the 70s. Liam, I don't know if he started it, but I tell you what, he was really darn close. Liam, if you look at, I mean, yeah, it's hard to deny that Steve Prefontaine did not start it, but he's the man. Like, he's the king of standing up for what he believed in as far as the sport was concerned and taking care of professional runners. So no, Liam, great point. He was the man. He's the man. Like, he didn't hold back. I would also throw out Fred LeBeau. Go onto YouTube, not now, Google, and I don't know if you can watch it for free. I think you can on YouTube. I'm not positive on that. But it's Fred LeBeau started the New York City Marathon. And it's a documentary. It's about an hour long. It's not incredibly well done as far as the quality of the filming, but you will learn so much about running culture in America in the 70s. So I would really encourage you to go watch that documentary. All right, let's just see here. MCM's, let me just see. Hey Seth, will you be doing anything 10K related to celebrate 10,000 subscribers? You are brilliant. I was not even thinking that. Like, do you mean running a 10K, like racing a 10K or doing a 10K time trial? I'm glad you brought that up, MCM, because guess what? I think we just passed like 9,500 subscribers, so we're less than 500 subscribers to go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And since you brought it up, I'm just going to jump on it. If you could help get this channel to 10,000 in the next week, that would be incredible. Because guess what? We've got a lot of running shoes piling up here that I want to give away, and I'm waiting for that 10,000 subscriber mark, so that would be amazing. Thank you for bringing that up, MCM. Okay, diving back in here, I think I saw Frank Shorter's name come up. So Frank Shorter, Bill Rogers, Alberto Salazar, yeah, those guys were kind of the king, right? They were the kings of the roads, and they really blazed the trail. Let's see here. Zach says, YouTube channels like yours, Ginger Runners and Sage, are doing great things for running culture and community by reaching new people and creating a sense of belonging. That is from Zach. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And we're trying, right? We're trying to help you, you know, by giving you insights into running shoes and training advice. But I think, frankly, most importantly, building that running culture and community and family, right? That's what I like. That's how I like to look at it. Let's see here. Anything else on running culture specifically? Jason said, the people I meet on the trails are super friendly. I love meeting runners. That's awesome, Jason. And let's see here. Great idea, MCM. 10K time trial. Ooh, man, I don't know if I'm ready for it. I feel really ready. I just don't know if, oh, man, Rahul, you're putting me on the spot. You're putting me on the spot. Thank you for that chat. Let's see here. Okay. Joe, I'll get to favorite spikes here in a little bit. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Frankly, it's a little beyond me because I haven't raced short distances, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, so any other thoughts on running culture? I'm going to take a quick drink here. Larry, I'll get to your question here in a second. 1 second here. Larry asked, and this connects to running culture really well, the New York City Marathon drawing was today. Did anyone get selected? Anyone get selected? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. I did not. I did not, Larry. I know. I just read the email like an hour ago. Kind of broke my heart, but we'll see if we can get in another way. But Larry, good question. And I think that the Boston Marathon, the New York City Marathon, to a certain extent, the Chicago Marathon, it all has helped really solidify and build that running culture. But obviously, like the entry fee for the New York City Marathon the first year, I think it was like 55 cents or maybe it was $1. Bottom line is, it's turned into a business, and I'm okay with that. Like, everyone's got to pay their bills. But at the end of the day, we're still getting on the starting line in running shoes, and we're letting it loose. And we're seeing how fast we can run and how many goals we can achieve. So anyway, I know like the marathon world has evolved a lot. And by the way, the Tokyo Marathon is on Sunday. It's going to be fascinating to watch. And even though Bekele had to drop out, but it's going to be fascinating to watch, and of course to see what shoes they are racing in. All right, it's going to be amazing to watch that. Let's see here. Eddie said, DeMoor Global Running Virtual 10K. I like it, Eddie. I think that's a great idea. And let's do it. So I think I have to figure out how to do that. I have never done a virtual run before in my life. I've never set one up before, but we will make that happen. And I tell you what, let's come up with a challenge. What is today? Today's Wednesday. What if we said like by Sunday? I don't know, like could we get to 10,000 by Sunday? Because we're less than 500 to go. I think that'd be amazing. Could we do it, YouTube family? Let me know in the chat. I don't know. Could we get there by Sunday? That'd be amazing. All right, diving back in here. Perth, Australia is in the house. Thorax, that's amazing. Ollie asks, any 1600 meter spike recommendations? I am just, oh my goodness, it's like so outside my wheelhouse right now because I just don't race at that distance right now. But I will send me an email, Ollie, and I'll try and help you out, okay? Cowboy Function, leaving for Tokyo tomorrow morning to watch. Wow, that's amazing. That'll be so fun. You got to send us updates. That's amazing. Okay. I think the Tokyo Marathon is Saturday night here in North America. Trevor, I think you are correct because they are ahead in time. Okay, great. All right, just seeing here. And all right, so if there's no other thoughts on running culture, and I hope I got all my thoughts out clearly, I want to move on to nutrition next, but I just want to reiterate that we are the running culture. You know what I mean? Like how we approach our living, how we allow the running to guide the choices that we make, how you know our swag on the starting line, like our grit, our ability to support each other, and like how we support each other and go out and cheer for each other even if we're not racing, like Cowboy Function going to Tokyo. So okay, let's see here. Let me just make sure here. Victory threes, Dylan says. That's awesome. And Rec Runner says 10K sub reflection video and what it means to you, like your New Year film. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we could try and figure that out. I don't know if I quite have time to edit that, but we could see. Ross asks, thoughts on Japanese running culture? Why are they so good? Ross, it's a good question. And I would say, Ross, I've heard that, well, first of all, they train in groups. And it's big group. It's kind of like the Kenyans. They train together. And it's from a very young age. I've also heard that as well. Like it's just part of their culture from an early, like we love soccer, we love football, we love t-ball as kids. They love running. And I think their elite athletes are it's very regimented, very disciplined, very to the book, like to the T. Maybe it's also, you know, to a certain extent, like their eating habits to it. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch. We'll talk about that in a minute, but maybe they're just a little bit on the healthier side. Genetics, anyway. I don't know. It's a good question, Ross, but I do know that their road running is off the charts. Here's another, just one quick point. China is exploding right now with running. China. Like, they've increased the number of races in their country by like 300% in the last, the last 3 years. Like they are adding marathons, ultra marathons. So China, watch out. Like I would predict not this Olympics in 2020, but 2024. I bet China has some really great runners represented at the Olympics. Just, I'm calling it now. All right, let's see here. Who else is here? Kurt, good point about running otaku, talking about Japanese running culture. I don't know that, I didn't watch that video, I didn't have time. Good point. Let's see. Okay, well, let's dive in. I'll just answer a few questions real quick. Favorite running spot for distance in Denver? Jero, it depends on dirt or concrete, you know? So if you're looking for dirt, like the Highline Canal is great. If you're looking for hills, Mount Falcon, Deer Creek, Green Mountain. Yeah, so anyway, Jarrow. Also, you know, the Cherry Creek Path, if you're looking for like 7 to 8 miles. Good question. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let's move on. Democratic Republic of Chuck. Your opinion on Honey Stinger waffles. I ate one the other day before 10K. Ran fine, but didn't feel too well the whole way through. Yeah, I think the waffles are designed a little bit more for longer races, and we're going to dive into nutrition now, just so everybody knows. Basically, yeah, I think the waffles are maybe a little more tuned in to like the 50K distance. I do think for the 10K, it probably, your stomach probably couldn't process it quickly enough. So anyway, that's a thought on the, I do love the taste, and I eat them all the time when I'm running up in the mountains. Good question from Chuck there. Okay, nutrition. I am not a nutrition expert. I am not a dietitian. I eat what True Love cooks me because it's delicious, and I don't complain. Like eating for me, I do wish, like, I envy a little bit. Like, I've traveled to Italy, I've traveled to France. I'd say the 2 best meals of my life were one was in France, one was in Italy. Like, I really admire their attention to eating and how it's really communal, and it literally takes like 2 to 3 hours almost every night. Like, they just sit around and they eat good food and they talk, and I envy that. But in America, it's like, it doesn't seem like we have time here for some reason. But who knows? Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. So I'll also say that I do think eating well is smart. Like, I don't think going to McDonald's every day is smart. Even though I had a teammate who at the University of Colorado who he loved Big Macs, and he would eat Big Macs quite often. But listen, he ran like over 100 miles a week, so he burned it off like that. But I would say that I think, like, I'm not a vegan. I'm not opposed to eating wheat or eating carbs, or you know, I eat. Thank you for the super chat. I'll get to that in a minute. So, anyway, I guess I like to keep things simple, and I just don't have a lot of time to research a ton of nutrition things. In college, as many of you know, I had a lot of injuries. So I read this book, The Paleo Diet for Athletes. And I tell you what, I learned a ton about eating and how to fuel as an athlete. Now, I don't like the fact that they have the word diet on there. I wish they would have said the paleo way of eating, because I think diet has a very, not a good perception from the world when you hear that word as far as diet. But I did learn a lot, and I would actually recommend this book. But I don't eat like a paleo diet now, and guess what? The reason I switched to eating like this was to try to stay healthy, and it didn't work. I still had injuries after switching to eating how they suggested in this book. But I gave it a shot, and I'm glad I did. I'll also just make two more points. My grandfather, he lived to 92, and he never darkened the doorstep of a Whole Foods or a Natural Grocers or any organic grocery store. So I think it's good to eat healthy, of course. I think it's smart to fuel well, but I also think you don't always need to overthink it, especially as distance runners and this is just my opinion, but we are burning, like if you're running pretty high volume, we are burning a ton of calories, and we need fuel to burn. So I think anyway, that's just my thought. Like, I'm all about putting fuel in the body and enough of it to really make sure I can burn the engines when I need to. And one last point on supplements, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on supplements in the chat. I take a vitamin D, I take a multivitamin, I take a vitamin B for energy. I take a fish oil. I take a turmeric, which helps with inflammation. I take a green tea. Green tea. It's just like green tea that you drink, but it's green tea. It's like an antioxidant, basically. And then I used to take a probiotic just to help, like, stay healthy so I don't get sick. Anyway, just putting all that out there. I know I just talked for a long time, but I'm going to dive into the chat now, and I'm going to read your thoughts on nutrition. I don't want to say diet, just like nutrition and overall eating for all of you. Let me just take a swig, speaking of nutrition here. Okay. Let me jump into the chat, because guess what? 2 super chats came in. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, from Lake Keaton Builder, who is Will. No, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Dave or Will? I'm so sorry. Gonna hit 10,000 by Saturday in more ways than one. That would be amazing. Let's hit 10,000 subscribers by Saturday. Let's do it. I'm game. I'll do my part. All right, let's do this. I think we can do it. All right, let's jump in. And Kurt said, okay, sorry late here. Was listening in the car. Culture, in my opinion, is the most important thing to generate success in distance running. Work hard and together. Kurt, Kurt, you're correct. So, Kurt, I believe you are from, I can't remember where you are from, if it's the East Coast or if you're in the, I don't think you're in the UK, or maybe it's Ohio. Bottom line, Kurt, there's a group in Boulder, Colorado called Tin Man Elite. It's just a bunch of guys that wanted to train together, and they created this group. Maybe some of you have heard of them. Look them up on Instagram. They've got a great Instagram feed called Tin Man Elite, and they're just crushing it. Like, they're running fast marathons. One of the guys that's part of the group, he just won the 2-mile indoor USA championships, I do believe. I forget his name. If anybody knows, let me know in the chat. But anyway, Kurt, great point. Thanks for listening, and I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see here. Let me look here. 106 watching, that's right. Oh, you need to eat a lot of protein or a lot of carbs or both for recovering from running. I eat both. I tell you what, I love eggs. I love bacon after like a 20-mile run, like just getting that fat back in me, the body. And just so you know, I've heard that in the first 30 minutes after a long run, that is the best time to eat. Like, your body is craving food and it needs to rebuild those muscles. And so the first 30 minutes after a long run is the best time to eat. So good point, Rahul. Okay, let's see here. Potassium is very important. Brent, I know, Brent, I need to eat more bananas, right? I agree with that. Okay, let's see here. Hi, is it okay to run slow and steady for Ultramarathon? We're going to be running 50K here in Riyadh tomorrow. Congrats. Where is that at? Riyadh. I'm not sure. Boy, it almost sounds like it's in India. Yes. Slow is good, and that's brilliant. That's the best way to run a 50K. Slow and steady, especially the first 15 miles. And even 20 miles. Get to the 20-mile mark and then see how you feel and see if you can start to explore going a little faster or just hold it. Brilliant idea. I love it. Let's see here. Drew Hunter. Yes, Liam, you nailed it. You nailed it. Drew Hunter. Good job. Drew Hunter, yes, okay. Angie said, you have to be careful on supplements because if you have normal amounts of vitamins and mineral, it can cause damage. I have heard that as well, Angie. That's a good point. That's a good point. And I've also heard you got to watch the source of the supplements. So, good point. Let's see. Dew says, the most difficult thing for those of us that do not cook is to find healthy, very easy to prepare, or microwavable. Lots of junk in the frozen food section, but doesn't fuel very well. It's a good point, man. It's tough. And it can cost a little more money to buy nice, and if you're on a budget, so it's, oh man, I hear you. We love shopping at Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. We think their prices are pretty fair, and they usually have great They have good food. They also have treats. Like, they have good treats and they have good food, like candies and good chips and salsas, but they also have delicious food. So shout out to Trader Joe's. Tin Man is a great guy. Have had conversations with him, has given me some of the best advice I ever got for marathon training. Interesting, Kurt. Saudi Arabia, Mr. Seth, thanks. Oni, you're racing a 50K in Saudi Arabia. That's amazing. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, Jacob says, I take magnesium supplement daily, otherwise I get leg cramps during the night. Ooh, crazy. Okay, Ricky asked, I have my second marathon coming up. My taper run, I went home and had cold shivers and shut down right at mile 13. Could this be dehydration or lack of electrolytes? I would say lack of electrolytes. Yeah. I would say, I don't know if that's ever really happened to me, Ricky. Maybe somebody else that's happened to them. But I would say lack of electrolytes. That's a good, that would be my guess. But again, I just don't experience there. Okay. All right. All right. So any other thoughts on nutrition? And listen, again, not a dietitian. I'm a simple, like, I eat what my body, like, I literally think, like, okay, not what I'm craving, but what do I think my body needs to get ready to sleep, to get ready to run again in 6 hours, to get ready for a big mountain run the next day or in 2 days. And on that note, I like to eat carbohydrates 2 days before a race, not the night before a race, like a spaghetti dinner 2 nights before, so that it has time to process into your body. Anyway, good. Luke. Okay, Luke, sorry about that. Okay, this is awesome. All right, Luke said, dude, try organic chicken tenders in frozen food aisle. Organic Girl Farms has low-carb chicken meatballs and tenders, and I eat it on salads, easy peasy daily. Boom, shakalaka. That sounds delicious right about now. Good work. Thank you, Luke, for helping out Do. All right. Let's see. Jason said there's more potassium in an avocado than a banana, I believe. I think I may have heard that. And what does avocado have? Is it, what is the fat that avocado, it's the good fat, the omega-3s? No, I don't even know. Anyway, I know avocados are good for you, so that's good. And Brent says it's not going to hurt you drinking protein shakes. Okay, Joel said, I'm a broke college runner, so it's hard to eat healthy every day. Yes. And Joel, you know, your body might be young enough that eating a little bit of junky-ish food is okay. That, like, you're just burning and burning and burn. Like, anyway, I get it, man. I tried to eat healthy in college, but it didn't always happen. So it's a valid concern. Okay, we're gonna move on. And Hararem Nepal, I will get to your question in 1 second. Open Q&A. Let's do this. And we can always, if you have more questions or thoughts about running culture or nutrition, bring it up. But we'll jump into the open Q&A right now. You can ask me anything about life, about running, about cinematography and filming, about YouTube, anything. Open Q&A. All right, so let's get in here. Heraram Nepal asked, how can I cure a ligament problem? What ligament? Like, where is the ligament? Is it on your foot? So I don't know. Gosh, my guess would be, you know, maybe gentle massage, stretching, a little bit of ice and heat alternating. But anyway, again, I'm not a doctor. Just always put that out there. But let us know where your ligament's at. Okay, jumping back in here. All right. Do you utilize fueling methods during your long run? Ross, yes. And Ross, so I wear a vest, actually. Here we go. I'm glad I always have this here. This is the vest I'm using more so right now. It's a Raid Light vest. And Actually, it's in the car right now, but I actually tried a new bar today, and I'm not going to remember the name of it, of course. But I usually have like 2 bars, a honey stinger waffle. So if I'm running like 25 miles, which I do every now and then, as you know on Strava, I'll have 2 bars, a honey stinger waffle. So I'm exploring UCAN. The letter U, can, okay, as a possible marathon hydration drink. You know, I need to figure out what I'm going to drink during the marathon, because a marathon is a lot different than an ultra marathon. In an ultra marathon, you are stopping at aid stations along the way, and you're literally stuffing your face with like gummies and sometimes cookies, and if it's a 100-mile race like I did in September, you're eating like potato soup. It's just a totally different ball game. But in a marathon, it's so fast. I'm really starting to explore the option of UCAN, the letter U, CAN, as my fueling option for long runs. So good question from, oh, I don't even remember who that was from, but thank you. All right, moving on here. Let's see here. How long does it take you to edit each day? That's from Brian. Brian, that's a great question. I would say it's about 2 hours. It's about 2 hours. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower, but about 2 hours. Good question, Brian. Like tonight, I'll go in and start the editing. Yep, you better believe it. Let's see. When you began running, what pace did you plateau? Well, I mean, I ran 16:27 for a 5K in high school. So I would say that I plateaued at about the 5:20-ish pace, approximately. But now, as a 33-year-old, I can hold 5:20 pace for a half marathon easily at altitude. So I'm really excited to go to sea level and see what I can do at the Cleveland Marathon. But good question. Yeah, I probably plateaued at about 5:20-ish. Okay. Have you heard anything about Beacon V2 launch date? Can't find anything online. Mike, I think I've heard July 1st. That's what I don't remember where I read that, but I believe it was July 1st. Good question. I wish it was now. I wish it was in, like, let's do this, New Balance. Come on now. So anyway, good question from Mike. How long does it take you? Okay, I already answered that. How do you bust through plateaus? From Zeke. Oh, I see. Depends on the distance, Zeke, and I'm guessing you're in high school. Is my question? Is my guess? Strength. I would say strength, a little bit more volume, not too much. Strength, and not necessarily from a gym. So how do you get strength? If you can find some hilly running, you will get stronger. Focusing on your form, making sure you're not losing it in the form. And so anyway, good question. Gosh, we could, I need a little more specifics on what distance you're trying to get ready for, Zeke. Good question. Yes, 114 watching. Thank you all for being here. By the way, I like goo for marathon fueling from Robert. I have tried the Morton drinks, and they have been great to this point, but quite expensive. That's from Kurt. Interesting. All right, Kurt, that's good to hear. Rise Up Nutrition by Lindsay. UCAN is great for a slower release of energy. It's actually a starch-based drink instead of sugar. So good for longer races or people sensitive to too much sugar. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of information I need. Thank you, Lindsay, and that's exactly it. I'm starting to research this UCAN, and I'm intrigued. So thank you. The fact that your handle is called Rise Up Nutrition by Lindsay means you probably know quite a bit about nutrition. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. What shoe are you most excited to buy in 2019? That is from Jesse. Oh, Jesse. Oh, Jesse. Yeah, I got to pull that question out. It's hard not to say, well, frankly, the Beacon 2 is exciting, but it's hard not to get excited about the next turbo. I'll be frank. So the Turbo 2. Oh man. Okay, I'm interested in the New Balance Summit King of the Mountain as a trail shoe. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the Salomon S-Lab Sense 7. Since I have the Sense 6, I don't know where it's at right now. But anyway, there's a few for you to chew on, Jesse. But yeah, oh, good. That's a hard one. Oh my goodness. And you just reminded me, I got to open this box up here in a minute. So if you're still here, thank you for being here. We're going to open up a brand new pair of shoes. Let's see. Okay, I've been using that Tailwind. Brent, let us know. Brent, I'm interested in Tailwind. Let us know what you think about. Maybe give a few more thoughts in the chat. That'd be amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but okay. Let's see here. Just diving back in. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Let's see here. What do you think about the Epic React / Odyssey React? That's from Jordan. You know, I never got excited about the React shoes. I actually don't own them. They just seem not quite, they seem more like a cross trainer / I know they're a running shoe, but I wore them once in a shoe store, and I just couldn't get excited about them. So I am not the right person to ask Jordan. I apologize about that. But sorry if somebody's an Epic React fan or an Odyssey React, but it's just not my wheelhouse. And so many shoes, so little time. Okay, moving here. All right, good night, Angie. That's awesome. Turbos, yes. Tailwind is legit. Let's see, and if I don't see a question, I apologize. There's a lot coming in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Way out question. How many years will it take till 3D custom printed running shoes for a perfect fit? Well, it's happening. I think it's happening right now for the elites, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I would say 5 years, maybe 8 at the most. I would say 5 years. I think it's going to be a pretty penny, but I would say it's not that far off, actually. I think it's going to be the economic question that probably it's not going to be worth it to most of the consumers, and yeah, I just don't think it's going to be worth it to most of the consumers. But good question. Okay, from Ricky, the least I could do. Thanks for sharing knowledge. That's amazing. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Ricky, that's amazing. Okay. All right. Liam asks, do you think the beacons can be used as an everyday trainer? Liam, I do. I prefer the beacon for an easy day shoe, but yes, it could be used definitely for a daily trainer. I wouldn't take it like some people. Liam, just so you know, I've heard some people race marathons in this shoe. I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't really take it past 10 miles. But if you're like hanging around the 5 to 8 mile range, like great shoe, great shoe. I love the shoe, as you know. Let's see here. And sorry if I'm missing some. In fact, I'm going to dive into, and we're going to open, give me 3 minutes. We're going to open this box in like 3 minutes. Hold on. I'm going to dive in. I want to make sure, because people are, of course, as you know, sending me questions via email and Instagram, and so they end up in this box, and every week I reach into here. So let's see here. All right, just diving in. All right, let's see. So this one asks, okay. That one, okay, this is asking about the Vomeros, and basically never bought Nike running shoes. Do I like the Vomeros? Right now, I do not like the Vomeros because they're making my left foot hurt. So I'm a little scared to run in the Vomero 14s right now. Oh my goodness, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, YouTube? Okay, and I'll get Swap Neil. I will get to your question in just a minute. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Hey Seth, I've got a question. Normally I run my usual easy days between 7 and 7:45 pace, and my friend wanted someone to run with the other day, so I ran with him, but we ran at about 10-minute pace. I know you preach keep your easy days easy, but am I getting any aerobic benefit from running that slow and having such a low heartbeat? Thanks, Matthew. Matthew, the easy way to answer that is yes. Anytime. If you go outside and you're walking, you are raising your heart rate, okay? So yes, you're getting a teeny, tiny stimulus to your aerobic system. It might be small, but the more important question is, on easy days, and this is why you see me, I almost said Strava, you see me on Strava, run so easy on easy days, because yes, I'm getting a teeny, tiny aerobic stimulus, but all that matters on easy days is that you're getting your legs rested and ready for the next hard day. Whether it's a long run, whether it's a workout, that is more important, to let your muscles recover. Because guess what? When you go to the gym and you're pumping iron, you're literally breaking down your muscles. Therefore, you have to, and then the next day you rest, and that is how muscles get bigger, is you break them down, and then they rebuild. And then you break them down, and they rebuild. So, easy days, in my humble opinion, need to be easy. And you're still getting a teeny tiny aerobic stimulus. It might be small, but even if you're just going outside walking, you're also getting a stimulus. Good question. Okay, let's see here. 114 of us in here. Can we all hit the like button for Seth, please? Yes, that's awesome, MCM. I appreciate it. And just spread this around. And what's really cool about live streaming is that as soon as I hit stop live stream, it automatically publishes the entire chat live on the channel for a replay. So like everyone in Europe right now hopefully is sleeping, so when they wake up they can watch the replay, and therefore once I hit stop you can then share the link out, if you know what I mean, Okay, should we open the shoes? Let me just see here. I know I missed a little bit here. Okay, Swap Neil. I am sorry I'm not saying your name correctly. Ultra Boost 2019. This was my bummer shoe of the year. Of 2018. I just don't like the upper. And I think the midsole is a little mushy. I don't love the Boost midsole. And I know there's people watching right now who love Adidas and Ultra Boost, and I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm just telling, like, everyone reacts to shoes differently. I think this shoe is a little bit more in the category of a cross trainer, and I think Adidas, and it's a heavy. It's, in my opinion, it's a little bit of a heavy shoe. But guess what? This shoe, very comfortable. I think you could use it for easy days, definitely, and that's how I used it in 2018. And I just, as far as like training and running fast and getting it, just I struggled in this shoe in 2018. So I think it has a little ways to go, Adidas, before it's perfected, and I bet it will improve in the future. So good question. I hope that helps. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink of water and let's do this. All right, let's open up these shoes. Can you guess what is in the box here? All right, here we go. Can you make a guess? What is in the box? Oh man. Let's see here. Okay, sorry, I was just touching the microphone. Hold on. By the way, I grew up in the mountains, and this is a elk antler, or maybe it's a deer. No, I think it's a deer antler. And my buddy made me this knife, and so we used to go out hunting, and I would just go help carry the meat out. And so I never got my hunting license. But anyway, if you're wondering why does Seth have a huge, gargantuous knife. That's why. My buddy made this for me. All right, here we go. Dun da da, dun da da, dun da da. All right, alive unboxing. All right, what's it gonna be? What's your guesses? I'm reading here Solomon's. Oh, drum roll. Ultra, hello from Ramon. Audi Zero, oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys are kind of getting it. How do you guys know? How do you guys know so well? Boom, boom, the three stripes, there it is. Oh, Adidas. And I actually made a vlog, I think in 2018, a little bit about the history of Adidas. It's really fascinating. A company based in Germany, started in Germany, in southern Germany. Oh man, so here we go. What's inside? Dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. No, it's not a Skechers or an Asics. Oh man, the anticipation, can you handle it? Yes. Oh, do you all know what this is? Hold on. The Adios 4. The Adios 4. Oh my goodness. Wow. So I held one in a running shoe store, but I definitely didn't appreciate it at the moment. Ready? Oh yeah, we got the sniffs, little sniff. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, well, as you know, I'm getting ready for a marathon in May. Many of you know that, and so therefore I am exploring all the marathon running shoe options. I am going to make 2 videos tomorrow on the channel, and the second video will publish at 3 p.m. and of course it will be all about the Audi Zero Adios 4, okay? So I'm going to talk about this shoe. It will not be my first impression because I can't go running in it tonight, but I just want to talk to you about this shoe, the history of the shoe, the history of world records and marathon world records in the shoe. So come back for that. Oh, that's nice to see. That's nice to see. You know what's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. You know what's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. Oh man. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I always want to respect your time, and we've been going for an hour. Thank you for being here. Any other questions that come in from this point forward in the chat, I will answer. All right? So, I will answer all of them. Get them coming in the chat, and then we will wrap up here in a minute. All right, Deb said, I respect that you have been exploring all different shoes, even though it's unquestionable that the 4% is king hands down right now. That's from Dev. All right. A lot of the Tin Man Elite guys train in that shoe because they're sponsored by Adidas. Liam, good point. I actually didn't realize they were sponsored by Adidas. Okay, Kurt said, one of my favorite shoes of all time is the original Adios back in 07. I think they were like neon orange. I think I went through 4 or 5 pairs. Nice. Thanks for the chat. Great show, man. Thank you. New fan from Ricky. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Okay. Kurt, did I talk about the Adidas versus Pumas issues? Kurt, that's a great point. I think I mentioned it briefly, but yeah, that's an interesting. It was the 2 brothers, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a split there between the 2 brothers at Adidas. Okay. Rhonda asks, June is coming my first marathon. What kind of shoes do you recommend? Are Hoka's good? I run in Nike Epic Fly Knit, but I don't think they would be good for going long distance like that. Rhonda, let's see. I would say that definitely a shoe that has, yeah, a little more cushion than the Epic Fly Knit. I would look at Hoka, but Hoka, you got to be careful with Hoka because it is a narrower fit in Hoka shoes, and some people don't like the Meta Rocker feel in Hoka, but as you know, like Hoka is known, like that's what they're known for, is a lot of good cushion. Gosh, there's so many options out there. Maybe explore like the Adidas Boston as a shoe that has a little more support than the Adios. Let's see, what else? What is New Balance going for? Or sorry, is it the new? Did I say that right? Anyway, Rhonda, there's a few ideas. Let me think what else. Yeah, I mean, gosh, I would start there. I would start with the Boston. Look that one up, and that could be an option for you. And as far as the Hoka lineup, I believe it's the Tracer that is known for going that distance. So, good question from Rhonda. Let's see here. Vaporfly 5% in 2019. You are correct. Let's see here. I would go for anything that has some decent cushion but lighter weight. Yeah, that's good. Okay, Zach asks, I'm racing a series this summer comprised of 8 races between 5K and half marathon. I'm running a lot of 20-minute tempo runs. As I progress, should I focus on pushing them faster or longer? So, Zach, I would focus on pushing them longer. You might be able to go a little faster, but again, as we talked about, what was it, 2 days ago? Basically, approaching that lactate threshold, but you don't want to push through it in a threshold run or a tempo run. But I think it would be brilliant to increase the distance, especially if the races are getting longer and longer. I'm a big fan of longer tempo runs. It's just how I love to train. So, good question from Zach. James asked, what is your favorite current Saucony shoe? So, James, James, I'm sorry. I just don't have a ton of experience in Saucony. I have the Saucony Fast Twitch 8, which I think is going to be a great 5K road racing shoe. All right, maybe 10K. And then I'm interested in the Saucony Freedom ISO. Freedom ISO. And I think it's the 5 is out right now. I haven't tried it yet. I tried it in a store once, but I just didn't pull the trigger on it. So anyway, the Saucony Freedom ISO. And then for a trail shoe, of course I never say it correctly, the Peregrine or the Peregrine. Everyone seems to love that shoe. So good question there. Yes, there you go. So let's see. Yeah, that's good. Kurt, that's a good point. The Zoom Fly Flyknit could be an option. A little, way more, well, more affordable than the 4%. So yeah, and it has a carbon fiber plate in it, so maybe that could help. All right, let's see what else here. Let's see. Yes, and the turbo. Oh my goodness, absolutely, totally spaced on the turbo. Andrew asks, what are the best racing flats? Well, Andrew, I am excited to try this guy. Hasn't happened yet. It's the Reebok Float Ride Run Fast Pro. Definitely a lightweight shoe. I think this is going to be a great 5K shoe. Maybe 10K. We'll see. Very lightweight. We're talking 3 ounces lightweight. So I don't know if it's the best yet. I haven't raced in it yet. I actually haven't even run in it yet. I'm waiting until the snow melts in Denver. So, good question. And okay, let's see here. You can get Peg Turbo for $120 on Bike's website right now. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, and let me make sure I'm not missing any. Let's see. Adidas Boston, Reebok Float Ride, Adidas Adios. Yeah, there's I tell you what, it's like a memory game trying to remember these names of these shoes. What about a 5K trail shoe from Law? Ooh, man, 5K. Depends on how rough the trails are, but if it's a 5K, I'm guessing the trail is pretty buffed out. Unless it's like a short trail race. I'm going to be racing a lot in the Salomon S-Lab Sense 7 SG in 2019, but it has quite a bit of lug action, so if you're in a muddy condition, it'll be great, but I think it's a great like 5K to half marathon shoe for the trails. I love the Fit of Solomon for my foot. Gosh, what else? Man. Man. Yeah, gosh, you might just want to look at a road shoe if it's a buffed out trail, you know? You might just want to look at a road shoe, yeah. So anyway, good question. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Any suggestions for good trainers to do sprint workouts in? I'm looking for some new shoes now the track season is starting up. The turbos, I know that's like an easy answer, but you can use the turbos for fast workouts, faster workouts, not like all out, but like good solid workouts, and you could go run 8 miles in them, 10 miles in them. Like, they're just a very diverse shoe. Like, you can do a lot of different things in them. In fact, you could even race in them if you wanted. Okay, Liam says, I use the Zoom Flies for tempos and track workouts, and they do really well. Nice. Okay, the Rec Runner. Are you going to have a DeMoor Global Running Shakeout run the day before the Cleveland Marathon? I would drive from Illinois for that. Wow, that is awesome. Rec Runner, guess what? We just bought plane tickets. That's right. True Love is coming. So it'll be Michael, True Love, and I in Cleveland. So we will fly out on Friday, and the race is on Sunday. Gosh, Rec Runner. Here's the deal. Maybe we could do a shakeout the day before, perhaps, but maybe even more so, it would be fun to have like a post-race party. Like, let's go out to a restaurant, let's meet and greet and hang out and have fun and share stories about the race. And so anyway, maybe we could do both, but at the very least, I would love to meet everybody after the race. That would be amazing. Okay. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up. Let me just answer a few more. Gooder sunglasses from Ollie. I use them, Ollie, but I use them because they're affordable. But the quality, I definitely don't think the quality is quite there. That's the ones I'm using right now. I love my Smith sunglasses. I'm just saving up a little bit more money to replace the ones I lost. So, all right, Mark is here. Hello, everyone. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up. Chris, the longest run on a treadmill. I haven't run on a treadmill in 15 years, Chris. I just don't do it. I don't own one, and I do not enjoy it. But I see the benefit of doing treadmill work when it's crazy out. But in Denver, we just don't get crazy, crazy weather here. I know that's strange to hear. So sorry I don't have an answer for you there. It's probably like 5 miles. Eddie's coming to Cleveland. Awesome. All right. So cool. Awesome, Raj. Thank you all for being here. That is that. Again, tomorrow we're going to be talking about plyometrics on the vlog. We're going to be talking about the Audios 4 on the vlog. And we're just going to have a great time on YouTube. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching. Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. So good to open shoes with you and just to share stories and to talk about running culture. Whoo! Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now I just gotta figure out how to shut this thing down. It's always an adventure trying to shut this thing down.